Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. For those who just logged in, a very good evening to you. Right, before we move on, my name is Zini Fu, Mr. Fu, Assistant Key Account Manager of ASEA Malaysia. Together with me tonight is Weng Yu, Platinum Executive, and also one of our founders member club in for ASEA Malaysia. He's going to share with everyone tonight about a topic called Simple 7. All right, so without further ado, I want to pass this stage to Weng Yu.
Thank you, Zinyi. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And for those of you who have joined us previously in the, Discover Asia, and what I was trying to do is also to try and give a flavor to the different way of traditional presentation of the Discover Asia. Today, I'm going to talk about slightly different, so it gives you a better perspective of what it is and how we can move towards a complete health, right? So my name is Weng Yu. I've been with ASEA for 2.5 years, since the beginning of ASEA. And today's title, To a Better Cellular and Health Potential, and how we make ourselves to have a more complete wellness. So wellness is the word rather than health, because wellness encompasses a broader perspective of things. Some of these can be a little bit in depth, but I think it is self-explanatory as a human being, as a person who lives, because what I'm talking about is really us living, eating, behaving, in a normal person, not just ASEA. We have 100 trillion cells, right? The cell, as illustrated here, consists of many, many parts. And you know that our cells are constantly being repaired and replaced as we progress through life. So there's such a nature. So the technical term is called apoptosis. So it comes in after a certain time, it will die off. After die off, it will throw away the old cell, and then the new cell will start to be split into a new cell. So this process is continuous until the day we cease to breathe, right? So in the cell becomes tissue. Whether we have skin tissue, we have a long tissue, short tissue, elliptical tissue, all sorts of tissue make different parts of the components of our body that we call organs. We have mouth, we have eyes, we have kidney, different parts of the organ, and this different part of the organ combine together to form 11 body systems, right? So bear in mind that we have a total of 11 body systems. I'm not here to teach biology, but just to let you all know that we have this type of system. So from your immune system, our skin is part of immune system. Then we got reproductive system, urinary system, and then you got our circulatory system. That's where our blood moves. And then we have our muscular system, our breathing or respiratory system, and so forth, right? So that's how our body works. In the nature, I told you that you have cells, tissue, organ, system, and body. But we all live and die at the cellular level. If our cell do not divide, we don't give our cell a chance to divide, we will cease to exist. And actually, below the cells, we need nutrients, of course. We learned about genes and genome. And really, at the bottom of this genome, there's another sub-level we call redoxome. And what is this? I will explain in a short while, right? So basically, there is this YouTube that a professor generated, right? He says that how we become alive from 4 billion years ago, when we are, a hot planet, how we begin to have life, right? So in essence, we have the oxidase and reductive process, and this is what we call redox. So redox is the foundation of life. Redox is basically oxidizing a reductance, right? And later you will understand why this is becoming important. And from the very beginning, it forms the hydrogen. The hydrogen becomes synthesized. It becomes, nucleic acid, amino acid, and then they recombine to become more complex atomic particle and molecules and like ribosome, and finally it becomes something that we can call it alive and self-replicate.
The early Earth, when the atmosphere prevented sunlight from reaching the surface. Primitive life was about to emerge underground, in the cave of a geyser. Uranium ore emitted large amounts of radiation, creating a diverse range of materials, and eventually producing the early building blocks of life. Water boiled and rose up to the surface, and the surface water flowed back down into the natural nuclear reactor. The temperature of the geyser water remained below 100 degrees, protecting the newly formed biomolecules. The underground environment was reductive, while the surface environment oxidizing. These conditions were necessary to synthesize biomolecules. In the Earth's Hadean eon, tidal forces were much more pronounced than they are today. Even lakes had significant ebb and flow of water, creating wet and dry cycles. These wet and dry cycles were one of the most crucial factors in producing the building blocks of life. Fatty acids came together, encasing the proto-life molecules. Polymerization progressed under the wet and dry cycles. Eventually, protein-like basic materials that could act as catalysts were produced. These molecules circulated between the geyser cave and the surface environment. The interactions of these materials led to more complex biomolecules. Proto-RNA combined with enzyme-like basic materials and evolved into ribozymes, which had the ability to replicate themselves. This laid the groundwork for life to reproduce. Finally, these molecules were enclosed within lipid membranes, forming primitive protocellular life. This was the beginning of life.
The life that we live in cannot happen without redox. So it is so foundation that without redox, we die in few minutes. Besides air, the next level of reaction is redox. So what is inside our cell? So what we are saying is, inside our cell, this redox is native to our body. The cell produces energy if you look at the cell here, imagine the cell is the pink color. So the mitochondria, which is the nucleus of the cell, is inside the nucleus of the cell. And it actually will do the redox process to create energy. So without redox process, no energy is created. Therefore, we cease to exist. And during this process, if you guys, young people who are in science, you will learn it in Form 6. It's not rocket science, you are learning in Form 6. And redox signaling molecules are used, make, and reuse. And there are only 4 atoms that are making this redox. It is made from water and sodium chloride, which is salt. So there are only 2 ingredients that are used by the cell to make the redox signaling molecule, which is salt and water. So the cell also performs cell signaling. It is the redox, because we can talk in English, we can talk in Bahasa, we can talk in Chinese, but how does the cell communicate? So the cell communicates by exchanging these redox signaling molecules chemistry. So this is how they talk to each other to ask for help and to talk about what they need, what they don't need, and so forth, right? So imagine your house is on fire and you need to call the fireman, right? So you need signals to call. So you need communication to call the fire brigade. The same thing is every cell lives on its own, far away from each other. So in order for them to talk to each other, they need cell signaling. So redox is a cell signaling component for our body. So if you don't have a effective cell communication, we will cease to exist, literally. So very, very important. You see that in the video, 3 minutes video, that redox is very, very foundation to life. And if you have a healthy cell, then you got a healthy self, right? So, but the problem is when we are born, we are full of redox. So imagine that you are, when you're young, you see the children, they fall down, they get bruises, but they can heal very fast. But why? When we age, especially after 60, we stop to heal. We get wrinkles, we get lots of different issues. And that is because our body is lack of redox. And redox start to decline at the age of 20. Okay, so that's why you see that the athletes are at the peak when they are 20, 22, 23. Then when it comes to 26, 27, they no longer able to run, say, 100 meters because the level of redox is declining. And that is part of nature that we cannot change. So what shall we do, right? So the other problem is every day we are exposed to all of this. We are exposed to viruses. We are still exposed to viruses, bacteria, toxic animal, poisonous animal, insects, poisonous, cendawan and all the mushrooms. We sometimes accidentally eat them. We are also, unfortunately, in large city, we are exposed to fumes. We are exposed to all sorts of pesticides. Whether we know it or not, we eat it through our food. We don't know. We're exposed to things that are unnatural, synthetic food, and so forth. We also have bad habits, right? We also smoke, we drink, we do all sorts of things that make our body stressed up. So we are in a very, very extreme stress. Whether or not it is a biological stress, we add on top is our work stress, our mental stress, all sorts of stress. And all these stress are actually the cause of our body going bad. And this is where we experts call it that 90% of our health issue are due to non-communicable disease. Disease is like a medical term, but non-communicable disease meaning things that are not due to external. So communicable disease meaning our virus, our flu, COVID-19, they are all communicable disease. Dengue, Aedes, right? They are all communicable disease. So what shall we do, right? So we get worse and worse faster as we live in this fast moving world, right? So it's time to heal, right? But how do we heal? So over the next 30 minutes, I'll teach you how to heal. Please tell everybody it is not rocket science. So we're talking about holistic wellness. Holistic wellness means we look at the diseases, we look at the issues that we have, we don't treat the symptom. When we have pain, we don't just go and buy painkillers, we don't just go and buy Panadol. We want to know what causes that pain. It's actually something that causes the pain. We got to remove the cause of the pain rather than removing the pain itself, because when we eat, I used to eat a lot of painkillers. Okay, I have bad issues with pain, and what we do, what the painkiller do, is just to remove the sensation, the communication of the cells telling the brain that I have a problem, and it causes this feeling called pain. So it is an inhibitor that blocks the pain cells from being reached to the brain. So no pain, right? So it's good, right? But we are just treating the symptom. So in order to understand this, we also need to understand the cells and the redox function of it, right? And areas that impact, regain, and maintain health. Where does it do? What does it do in all these cells that are talking to each other, and how we can help them to help themselves, right? How we can help those cells to help themselves so that they don't cause us discomfort, don't cause us, inflammation, don't cause us short of breath, things like that. So this is what we should ask ourselves. What causes these discomfort, these issues, right? Now, it's very simple. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy cell, right? How do we make a healthy body? How do we make a healthy mind? There are 7 simple root cause that causes this issue. So the minute we addresses this issue, you will see, you will practice, you will see that it begin to go away. I've been practicing this through my doctors, teaching me certain part of it, and through ASEA, I found certain wonders. So I will explain to you why I'm so passionate about telling everybody to have a better wellness, right? So the first thing is you must be mindful. Mindful meaning that you must know what you are doing. You must know where you are. You must know that you are going into a very bad area that causes a lot of smoke, for example. You get out of the place. Be mindful. Be mindful that you need to do exercise, of course. Be mindful that you need to be positive. Don't be so negative that the negativity itself will actually stresses you out. So this is actually, a lot of times people say, foundation to many of the illnesses, right? Then the second part is oxidative stress. So oxidative stress, here is an illustration, it's a tomato. As you age, it becomes small and it decays, right? So a cell, if you go and look in the microscope, you can actually see the cell from a very nice tomato, it starts to decay and it starts to go out of shape. And finally, it becomes very bad that the cell, that you cannot do anything. And the worst is the cell change shape, and you know what it becomes, right? It's the big C, right? We don't want that to happen. That went rogue. We don't want the cell to become bad and they become the alien or the terrorist, right? So this is what we want to prevent. So the question is, what is your action to reduce this? Some are self-inflicted. Some are, you got no choice, but you can stay proactive. And if you have no choice, you can try and use something to reduce it, right? So that's all we can do. I always tell people, either you can eliminate, that is the best, or you can mitigate, you go to a different place. If the environment doesn't allow you to do that, you just avoid it. So there are 2 ways to avoid it. And of course, the best is you go to a place that doesn't have these issues of stress enhancers, right? Okay, so these are the two parts, right mindful and oxidative stress. The third one is right hydration. Okay, I just want to ask you, how do you know how much is enough? 1 liter, 2 liter, 10 liters a day? But like the American says, in rhyme, I will explain the rule of thumb. Your weight in pound, half it in ounce. Anybody guess it? Your weight in pound, half it in ounce. So if you are 50 kilo, which is very light, you are about 120 pounds, right? This, because kilo times pound is 2.2. So 120 pounds divided by 2 is 60 ounce. 1 liter of water is 32 ounce. So 60 ounce is roughly close to 2 liters of water as a 50 kilogram person. But you are 80 kilo, you need to drink 3 liters, 3.5 liters. However, I want to caution you because I saw some people say 8 liters. Do not drink more than certain amount. You will get into a shock. Why? If you have too much water without electrolyte inside your body, then your body will shut down as well. So the right hydration, clean water, is very, very important, right? So the rule of thumb is very simple. Once a day, 2.5 for younger people or smaller size people, maybe 3 to 3.5 for 70, 80 kilos people. So right around that that amount of water, right? You will be amazed how much of changes you can make with just drinking water. Every morning, wake up, drink 1 big glass of drink ASEA first. Later, I'll explain what is ASEA for those who doesn't know. And then drink 1 big glass of warm water before you take something else 10 minutes later. Okay. I haven't sell anything. I haven't talked about any businesses, but just pure same basics of living, right? So I want to talk about the next thing, about food, right? So I have a poll here, and I want to ask if you can go to the poll, and what I was explaining. So, you know, Okinawa is a small island in Japan, south of Japan. And all these people are the longest living people on earth. They live 85, 90 years old on average. Some of them 110 years old. Okay. So they are small island. They catch a lot of fish, right? And then they are fishermen. And the question is, how can they make themselves live for so long, right? Okay, so that is going to go to my next topic called macronutrient imbalances. Macronutrient is very simple. It's just when we learn ilmu kesehatan even in standard 4, standard 5, right? We have this triangle. Okay, at the bottom is carbohydrate, then protein, then fat, right? But I put this as 3 intersections of a similar kind. Why did I say this? So a lot of people in the past say you need carbohydrate because you need energy, right? But what you and I are doing is we're sitting in office 6, 8 hours a day, and hopefully, 1 hour we can walk around in the office at best, right? And then hopefully some of you go and do exercise, right? So many of times we overeat our carbohydrate. We overeat our carbohydrate. Of course, each person is different. So we actually, many times, especially you go and eat nasi kandar, you eat soup with, wow, this gravy. Malaysians have fantastic food, right? But we eat too much gravy, right? We should eat clean protein so that we don't overeat our carbohydrate. I will explain to you how we're going to eat later. Okay, how we're going to eat later. And this is my practice. I will explain to you what I have, what I am, what I was in the next couple of slides, right? The next one is micronutrient deficiencies, not enough. So you go to many places, they say, okay, buy vitamins. What are vitamins? All sorts of vitamins. And sometimes you buy, before you know it, you eat the whole bowl of vitamins, multi-Y, all sorts of vitamins, right? So you do not know which one is enough and which one is not enough. And sometimes overeat can kill you, okay? Overeat can kill you. I will also explain why you cannot overeat for my own health, okay? If I overeat, it will kill me, right? The sixth, we call it gut dysbiosis. Gut is basically your stomach. So the stomach will do processing of food when you eat, right? But the stomach has a lot of bacteria, good and bad bacteria. So this good bacteria is required in order for us to process our food with the enzymes that processed by the come out from the body. It helps to process the food. So gut dysbiosis is basically the problem that many people have. You get bloated, you get acid reflux, you get a lot of all these different issues with your stomach. And most of the time we call ourselves, oh, gastric. Actually, it's not gastric, because gastric is, just for your information, gastric is done by a bacteria. And gastric can be cured 100% with a course of antibiotic 2 weeks. That's gastric. So every time when we have sour stomach and all that, those 90% is not gastric. It's something to do with what you eat, something imbalance in your stomach that causes you to have this problem. So we always think wrong things. So I'm going to explain to you what we should do it right. Okay, for the pose, a lot of people say since they are in a, in the island, wow, we eat sushi, right? Must be a lot of sushi and sashimi and all that stuff, right? And of course, some people say potato and bean. The answer is yes, potato and bean. They call this category in English legume. Ubi kayu, ubi kentang, kacang panjang, kacang bende, all sorts of this green veggie with all this kacang. And the reason, you can go and find it. If anybody wants more detail, you can PM me, ask Zinyi and PM me, I can explain to you. But you can go and learn from a lot of internet, actually, very good ones, but also bad ones, why legumes are very, very important to our body rather than eating rice. And the people in Okinawa don't eat fish. Interesting, isn't it? They don't eat fish. They eat a lot of legumes, majority of them, but they don't eat rice. They eat very little rice. So rice, especially polished rice, is basically sugar in the form of carbohydrate. So eat too much, you get big problem with your liver. You get liver problem, okay? Big problem. So the seventh, which is redox molecule deficiency. So as you see earlier on, the foundation of life is having a redox. But our body become less and less due to the stress, the toxic, the fumes, the smoke, and we just don't have redox. So we need to replenish this redox. What and how we should replenish. So I'm going to the next section. So now we know that there are 7 areas that we need to take care, right? The first few, you got to help yourself. Mindfulness, you got to help yourself. Nobody can help you to think. If you want to get angry every day, nobody can help you to stop you from your anger, right? So just be light and help people, be happy in helping people. Like what I am doing, I have also got a lot of good things in this company, because by telling you guys, I feel very happy because I have served a good deed by telling people how to be healthy and having the better wellness, right? So I feel fulfilled, right? You need to have a fulfilled environment. So now I talk about myself. What happened to me? I am a sportsman. Okay, I play sports every day. 5 hours a day when I was young, right? Then when work started, and I have a chance to travel across the region, across the world. I used to be a regional run around helping people, help a company, work with a company from the backwaters of Bangladesh, with all the longkang water, is very bad, to the nice place in New Zealand and Japan. I've seen it all. Okay, and throughout the time, of course, you just travel and you eat, you enjoy talking to people, and you eat 7 meals a day, right? And then I become very fat. Okay, so I don't have exercise because every day is traveling. So I become very bad. I actually got sick every other month. I get sick, right? Because of the environment, because of the viruses, I get sick every month, every other month. So one of the things that is very important, as I said, is to have a positive and fulfilled mind, right? How do you feel your mind to be positive? Help people, be generous, right? Be generous doesn't mean they give money, right? Helping people walk across, helping blind people walk across the street, fulfill your mind, positive mind, help people. Don't destroy things, don't destroy people, right? Don't get angry, right? Everybody deserves their own right of thinking and talking, right? So this is the First Amendment, right, in the US. But don't get angry because people just tell you something, right? The second one is, every time 80% of people is self-inflicted. They smoke, okay, they drink, but don't do this. I don't drink, I don't smoke. Okay, so that remove certain part of my problem, a lot, in fact, right? Now, the next thing is very simple: active lifestyle, exercise. Walking during work not counted as exercise. Okay, you must do at least 10,000 steps daily, rapid walking, minimum. Not walking in the office, not counted. Okay, because walking in the office, you're walking with stress and work. But the most important part, which you can do just 20 minutes, is called HIIT. I don't know anybody knows what is called HIIT, right? High intensity interval training. Looks very confusing, right? Wow, crazy things, right? Very simple. Run up the step. If you live in a condominium, run up the step, 5 flight of step, run up immediately as fast as you can. Then the Malay say termengah-mengah. You get tired. You get no energy. That is exactly the exercise that you need. Then you walk down. Then you run up again. Or you swimming. 100 meters dash, very tired. Rest for 30 seconds, 1 minute, dash again. 100 meters, 200 meters. Same with running, So you have to do this HIIT exercise. Why HIIT exercise is very important? Because HIIT exercise actually is the only way you can burn fat. Okay, the first 30 minutes of your jogging is burning the sugar that you just eat over lunch, over the day. So it doesn't burn the fat that is accumulated in your liver, in your body, and that is why people do not get thin, because they did not do a HIIT exercise. I did not know this until I play a lot of badminton. So badminton is a form of HIIT exercise, because you do a search of 1 minute and then you stop, you're very tired. You do a search of 1 minute and you get very tired. So this is called anaerobic exercise. So do that 20 minutes a day and you will see the changes. Okay, you can do jogging 30 minutes just to do the sweat and do the sugar, but you need, in between, you do the 100-meter dash or 200-meter dash, run slowly, 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash. So that kind of treadmill or jogging. So fat burn in the treadmill or cardio exercise in the treadmill. So either one you pick. So next, you must improve your body redox balance. Now I'm trying, for those that have just seen this bottle called Asia, and the gel is called Renu 28. This is what is this? It's actually a redox signaling molecule. But what is this thing? bottle in blue, right? So ASEA is one of the most significant health science, anti-aging, and sport performance breakthrough of our time. In fact, it is about a category of science that are still 10 to 15 years ahead of time, right? It's not in the masses because ASEA is the only company that has this redox in the bottle, okay? ASEA redox is none of these food, vitamin, mineral, antioxidant, exotic juice, alkaline, water, essential oil, CBD oil, steroid, none of this, right? It's a category by itself, right? So it is actually a stabilized redox signaling molecules that the company is able to stabilize and make outside the body in a perfect body balance, exactly the same molecule that our body is made. So what does ASEA made from? You take the bottle, it says salt and water. Can I buy salt and water from Giant, from, you know, and do it? It is not the same because there is a process that ASEA has made to create this redox molecule that is not found in the salt and water. So there is a process where they have done it. I have to cut short because I am telling you these 6-7 areas. But for those of you who, you can go back to your associates or your upline and ask them to show you how the process of making ASEA, right? It's made from salt and water and go through a 3-day, 3-night process to make redox water. It is not alkaline water. It is not nothing of this. It is redox. And this redox turn on gene expression. So third-party laboratories have proven that it actually enhances genetic expression by 20 to 30%. Remember, gene is on top of redox, right? And under gene, genome, and then below genome is actually redoxome. So in the 5 areas is to improve immune system, regulate inflammatory, improve cardiovascular health, promote gut health enzyme production. Now you can hear, right? Gut health enzyme. What does that mean? One of the condition in the 7 condition, right? Gut health and enzyme, right? And restore hormone balance. Right? So these are 5 big ones. And there are detailed study that shows how the genetic pathways created so that it affect many gene pathways. Is like your road between the houses, between the town. They call in the communication between genes, they call it pathways, right? So they have dedicated pathways for different genes to talk to each other. So the next one is you must understand your diet. For me, I practice high protein, low carbo diet. At one time, I was very sick. I have a very fatty tissue in my body. I take not keto diet, because keto diet, you need to monitor yourself because there's 100% protein. You take high protein. Every day, I take only 2 spoonfuls of rice per meal. Okay, 2 spoonfuls of rice per meal. Okay, and take no or less sugar. Morning, I have 0 sugar. I haven't taken any food. I go exercise for 1 hour without food. A lot of people say, wow, I get hungry. No, you try doing this regime, you will understand that you do not need sugar and food. If you are healthy, that's when you burn fat in your body. So I actually can burn a lot of fat in that 1 hour because I don't have excess Milo, excess, bread in the morning for me to burn. And then please don't come back and take laksa, wrong. No, don't do that. So also, a lot of people say, wow, fruit detox. Please do not drink fruit juice, especially cold pressed juice. If you take 1 cold pressed juice, 1 glass of cold pressed juice of 200 ml, you can go and squeeze it for yourself and see how many, a lot of juice is what? Grapes and maybe orange. See how many orange do you need? 5, the small ones, or 4, the big ones. So you are literally taking 4 oranges for a glass. There's too much of fructose. And bear in mind, fructose does not process in your body. It goes into your liver and the liver have to break down into glucose for it to process in your body to be used as a fuel to generate ATP. Remember just now I talked about the cell use redox and oxygen and it generate ATP. So for those that are not used, the fructose is stored in your liver. So you have fatty liver problem. So for me, my doctor say your liver is very shiny. Okay, please, you have to do something. So how do we remove the fat from the liver? You cannot remove except you do high protein, low fat, low carbo, exercise with the HIIT, okay, and please eat less portion a meal a day. Everything that you eat, your mind, remember your mind, everything that you eat, now you eat half. Start from tomorrow, everything you eat, including the water that you drink, is half. That means you are not full. Right? Some people say, wow, but I'm not full. Don't eat until you are full. But after I'm hungry, it's okay. Then you eat a little bit more in between. So the Chinese say, 少食多餐, or eat little but you can have many small meals, right? Do that. Try it. So the first thing is you shrink your stomach because you eat less. When you shrink your stomach, the first 2 days you feel hungry. But after that, when your stomach is shrink, then you don't eat so much. You don't need to eat so much. And eat good healthy food. Don't eat junk food. Okay? For those that you want, you can do intermittent fasting. Water only. 18 hours. Okay? Okay, so for the Malays, they do fasting, but I'm sorry to the Malays who fast, I go buka puasa as well. It is completely the wrong thing to do. Okay? I live with a Malay. I used to work in outside in the sea. I used to have a housemate that is a Malay. Okay, we lived there for many years, and my Malay friend eat only 1 meal a day. Okay, during puasa, after puasa, he eat. He don't eat immediately. He drink a glass of water just to for the sugar. Then he wait for 2 hours. Around 11 p.m. Then he eat, and that is the only meal he eat a day. You don't have to eat many meals, and you eat only 1 bowl of good food. You don't eat until you are full, until you cannot walk. Okay, that is my friend. He's a bodybuilder as well. Okay, so you don't need to go exorbitant, because the exorbitant amount of food will get stored in your food in your body, and it cause harm to you. Okay, you can go and Google, or you want to get some YouTube. I have some. You can fast up to 1 week without food, but you cannot have no water. So you can fast up to 1 week without food. I know there is an ASEA associate, a very, very high level. In fact, he's the, I can myself tell you, you can Google it, Facebook him. He's Dan Doyle, he's my upline. He's the presidential triple diamond. And he is the top producer in the world. And what he has done is, his story is he got the biggest problem in the world. He's going to die already, but then he recovered with ASEA, right? He is now the top producer in the world, and he has fasted 21 days without food, just with ASEA, 1.5 bottle of ASEA a day, and 3.5 bottle of water liter a day for 21 days continuously. And he's very healthy because he is very fat when he overeat. So he does that until the stage where his fat level becomes quite low. Then he came out of the fasting. So remember, you don't die because you don't eat, but please drink the water correctly, a right amount of water. Okay. So intermittent fasting is very easy. What I do is after 6 p.m., 8 p.m., 7 p.m., whatever, you finish your dinner, continue to have water, it's okay. The next morning, drink water, drink ASEA, go and run, go to the hills. I go jogging, go to the hills, come down, drink water until about 11, 12, noon, and then eat. Nothing wrong with that. Very easy. I can go full day without food up to 3-4 p.m. no hungry. But the minute I eat a piece of bread, then my stomach become very hungry, because the carbohydrate creates the juice, and the juice keep coming out, and it causes you to be hungry. So actually, at night I eat protein. Okay, eat higher level protein. Just eat a little bit of carbo, and then it can last until the next day 12 o'clock. Try it. You will be amazed how light you are, and of course you have to exercise. Very important. I never emphasize enough. Right? Don't eat all this food, potato chip, and for those mummies out there, I always forbid to buy the stars, honey stars, sorry, the Kellogg's, right? I don't eat this. It looks like it is good nutrient. It is not oat. It is not raw oat. It is processed carbohydrate. Okay, that has sweet on it, very sweet. If you look at the amount of sugar per 100 grams, you will be scared to death. Don't take sweet fruits. Treat little bit with the sap is okay. Don't drink so much of pineapple juice and orange juice. Of course, you don't take fake foods. Okay, I have sugar. I buy without cake. This sugar is for tea and coffee. 1 kilogram of sugar lasts me 1 year. 1 kilogram of sugar lasts me 1 year. Okay, I don't eat sugar at home. I don't eat sugar outside. You can drink coffee without sugar. So you can drink latte milk. That is very good. Don't put condensed milk. Very, very bad. Condensed milk is very, very bad. Don't eat cured foods. Chinese like to eat cured foods. Western people like to eat salami and cured food. Cured foods are very carcinogenic and also very, very bad. And actually, the sausages that we have in McDonald's have a lot of fillers. Very bad. Don't take hydrogenated vegetable oil. Meaning, don't take deep fried foods. No KFC. Okay. No margarine, no cookies made from margarine. Butter is okay, but not cookies made from margarine. Margarine is the worst of the lot. Yang paling teruk, mayonnaise. Don't eat mayonnaise, okay? Mayonnaise is very bad. So these are the food that I don't take. So cut the cold cuts, eat fresh turkey, chicken, fish, Don't do the bacon, whether it's beef bacon or pork bacon, don't eat vegetable sausages, right? Sausage, like I say, a lot of fillers. Eat kidney beans, black beans. It's very, very healthy. Eat beans. Okay, so this is the patur. Of course, just now I mentioned don't eat high sugar fruits. Eat guava and stuff like that, right? So low sugar food that has a lot of fiber. Right? Eat vegetable, green vegetable, right? Leafy vegetable. Okay, so that we can improve the micronutrient. So my lunch today, I eat one, those soy-tan, those egg, and then I eat some meat. I eat one big, huge of green leaf vegetable. Zero, literally zero, no rice. That is my lunch today. So the next thing, you have to improve your heart and brain function. So heart and brain function, you got no choice. You are not in a place where you can access to a lot of fish. So you need to take fish oil, omega. Okay, you have to take. This is something that is missing in our diet 100% for our lifestyle, except you eat fish every day. Okay, just a note of caution. This ASEAN wire is not available in Malaysia or Singapore. So I actually try and import it through my friends from US and UK. So I tried some of this. Nevertheless, don't be alarmed if you do not have ASEAN wire omega. You still can go and get the same fish oil from the pharmacy. It's okay. Of course, ASEAN omega is one of the top grade in the world. So you combine your heart and brain function with two things, the ASEA and combination and complement with omega. Remember just now I said that it improves the cardiovascular health. It also have trigger gene pathways, the two pathways that are very important that allow people to, the disease is called, cannot remember, that kind of disease, shaking hand. I think some of you have seen. So these are caused by your brain, BDNF pathways and NRF2 pathways not functioning properly. So you can go and check these two pathways, and the internet will tell you all sorts of things related to brain issues. Okay, so ASEA promote these pathways 20 to 31%, and BDNF and NRF2 is two of the main most important pathways for our brain. And then you have the omega-357 that is required for the brain and the heart to function. So you have to come together. Next, what do I do? If you eat whatever good food, if the food cannot be processed, nothing is possible, right? Nothing goes inside. So we need to complement our gut with ASEA. Remember, it promotes gut and enzyme production, as well as you need the probiotic. Okay, the probiotic is very important because this good bacteria will kill the bad bacteria in our stomach, and also will help to create the enzymes. So very important, very, very important. Without this, you cannot absorb, not everything comes in, goes out. So whatever nice food that you have is go down the drain. So you must make your gut very efficient, very effective. And once you have your gut, trust me, try it. For those that have always got stomach pain, right? Try these two for 1 month to 2 months. I tell you, your so-called gastric 80-90% will go away. Trust me. Ask those people who have this problem. If you have real issue, take half a bottle a day. Otherwise, take 1 or 2 cups a day. But take the Biomi if you can get access. If you cannot get access, this one is available in Singapore. Malaysia don't have. You can buy it from the pharmacy. Sorry, this one is omega. It's actually Biomi, right? Biomi is basically probiotic, but make sure you buy the probiotic that has prebiotic, because prebiotic is the food for the probiotic. And ASEA Biomi has a lot of bacteria. So the cheap one doesn't mean good because the amount of bacteria is very little. So you need to see how much bacteria, what type of bacteria, full spectrum bacteria that is inside the bottle, right? You can see in the label. ASEA has one of the best in the world. Of course, there's the other parts that now, if you're not enough, go and check what is not enough. So there are 2 other things that ASEA provide, which is LifeMax and Source. There are other videos, there are other presentations by a Taiwanese nutritionist. Mr. Fu can actually sometimes invite the Taiwanese nutritionist to talk about this type of thing. Unfortunately, it's in Mandarin, but we can translate if you need to understand further. Okay, so how I do this is the 7 complete. Have mind, good mind, have good exercise, eat enough water, drink enough water. Your weight in pound, half it in ounce. That is the amount of water. Fill it with ASEA. It is foundation to everything. And then make sure you eat correctly. Don't overeat your carbo, especially carbo. Eat more protein. For those that are vegetarian, okay, for those that are vegetarian, I just want you to highlight to you all, please go and see. Doesn't mean that soya bean has the 100 grams of soya bean and 100 grams of meat is not the same. You probably need to eat 30 times more in terms of soya bean to get the same amount of protein as the red meat or the fish. So understand what is protein, what is soy protein, and the right amount, because a lot of it are actually energy as well stored in the beans. So beware of that. So then you have the the pro and prebiotic, and then only you take what is not enough. Now I tell you my problem. A lot of people say, wow, take vitamin C, right? Take vitamin is zinc and calcium, right? I tell you what, luckily I didn't go, but I went to do medical checkup because I have eat and drink a lot of milk. My bone calcium density is very high, above normal. So I cannot take more calcium. Then you get a lot of spurs in your you get different problems. You get a lot of bone spurs in your body. So very, very careful. Okay, you have to be balanced, right? So I checked my vitamin B perfectly fine. So one of the things that you need to check is your vitamin D. So check it out, right? And one of the things that I do check, you guys can go and check. Nobody tells you, but I went to check. It's called free radical test. Okay, this one certain medical center have free radical test, not expensive, 100 ringgit. So this is where you test whether you got heavy metal, whether you get your free radical balance. Remember earlier on we talked about redox balance, right? Not too much oxidative, not too much reductance, so balance. So this test tells you the balance. So when I started before ASEA, I went to test my free radical, not balanced. And when they say not balanced, they say eat antioxidant, eat this. Guess what? ASEA is the best antioxidant producer in the world. Vitamin C is antioxidant, fruits are having antioxidant, but they are natural stuff, very big antioxidant molecule. ASEA Redox produces up to 800, our body produces 800% of glutathione, which is the natural antioxidants, after 72 hours of consuming redox. This is the other equation, right, of antioxidant. So you need to make yourself balanced. The free radical test will tell you whether your body is balanced or not, right? So this is what I do. Be proactive, having good mind, sharing is caring. You know, I'm very delighted that you guys decided to join, and I want to part my knowledge so that you guys are healthy, and so that you can remove the stress enhancer. I don't take them. So, you know, drink and all that. If you want to drink a little bit, but you know, don't smoke. Exercise, right type of exercise, HIIT. Go to gym. Don't do jogging for half an hour. Slow jogging, no use. Okay, unless you cannot do it. If you can do it, do the 100-meter dash. Do the swimming. Right? Enough water. Macronutrients and micronutrients balance, as I told you. Good healthy food, don't eat junk food. And the 3 things that I take for my supplement is the redox, fish oil to complement my omega complex, and probiotic to complement my gut. That is all I do. I don't take other supplement, right? I try to take one or two supplement just to try it out. Sometimes it helps a little bit because it gives a boost, like the sauce and the Life Max. But other than that, I feel perfectly fine. So that is my my diet, my doing on a daily basis. Okay, so I just quickly go through. Remember to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, nobody will love you. Make sure you are well, and make sure you are well. Then you don't have to. Other people don't have to take care of you, right? So very simple. You are what you eat and what you do. If you do the bad things, unfortunate, right? This is your own doing. Okay, love your body, love yourself. As simple as that. And at ASEA, we have this new tagline: we power potential. So today, my presentation is on the cellular and health potential, which I've shared with you. How ASEA products complement the entire end-to-end to help you to enhance your health potential. There's the other part. There's the opportunity where ASEA will bring to you. And today, I think I don't have time to share how this can be so fulfilling for your, not just for your pocket, it's also for your mind. Because when your pocket is full, The reason your pocket is full is because you help people. Then the pocket is full, it comes as a reward. And also when your pocket is full, you see your friends are very healthy, you will be blessed with, with a good surrounding. So this is the two things that ASEA is powering. So to me, I urge you, I encourage you to walk this journey. For those that has not joined ASEA, welcome to do so. For those that needs more information, if you want to call me, you can call Zee and you can get connected. Else, get to your upline, they may be able to explain to you further. So embark on this journey to better your life and to be a force for good to the world. With this, I end my presentation and I open to any questions.